Hey folks, Rob back for another Rob Plays, and this week we're going all out for a bit of blasting action with Lamasoft's Matrix. Originally written for the VIC-20 by Jeff Minter and ported and released the 64 the same year, 1983. Matrix follows on from Gridrunner, obviously, and is basically 10 years after the droids have returned, more forces and whatnot, and they're back to cause havoc. So the Gridrunner squadrons are reactivated, and is under the guise of Matrix squadrons, and they are tasked to defend 20 sectors each. So it takes its set of HQs, and your objective is really to blast the enemies. It's pretty straightforward, but you know what? That's what makes it so good. And even though it's all character based, I kind of wish, and I kind of wish there were some enhancements on the 64 version, use at least a sprite for the player rather than character, just to make the movement a bit smoother. But it is just classic frenetic action. Unlike Gridrunner, which doesn't really adapt to the 64 that well, this really does feel better on the larger screen. I know Jeff himself prefers the VIC versions, and I'm sure there are a lot of people who probably do. But I kind of dig this a little more on the 64 just because you've got that bit more real estate to go for blasting. I keep running into the Y Zapper. Actually, unlike Gridrunner, the Zapper pretty much only runs from the bottom, and on the side it just spawns one of those mines. So as you destroy the droids, they leave. Oh man, I'm usually better at this, but they leave the sort of mines, and you clear them. Otherwise, they will turn into balls to shoot down the screen. All right, almost there now. Yes. You got a bit more freedom here compared to Gridrunner. I remember Gridrunner can't move. Now move diagonal, and that always gets messy. This is utterly terrible. I'm gonna have a second go. But everything is, yeah, it's a fairly simple presentation. Ultimately because it was written for the VIC with. Although this had, although it needed 8K expansion on the VIC, whereas the 64, it doesn't need expansion because it's got all the RAM. The other tidbit, of course, I love is what happened with its American release, because in the States, it was published through Human Engineered Software, not home entertainment supplies that we know down here, and so he showed the original Attack of the Mutant Camels as well, and turns out they weren't really a fan of that, which is a shame. Despite its flaws, I think AFC is good fun on the 64, although blown into oblivion by the Atari version. So they didn't like the game, but they liked the name. So when he put the sequel, when he put this together, in PAL regions it is Matrix, but Damnation. But in the States, it's Attack of the Mutant Camels. And if I get off level 2, there's one change that sort of makes sense of what happens. How that change actually applies. It's not just a case of retitling the game. It's there are subtle changes. Come on. I'm utterly terrible at this, I can usually do better. Alright, wonderful. Yes! Okay, stage 3. So on this stage, we're going to get a little dude walking across the top of the screen. He is the sort of a traitor. I forgot his actual name. And the idea is, basically, he walks around, the Snitch. He's the Snitch. And he walks around, and if he spots you, and the laser is underneath you, it'll fire. Because instead of firing its sort of pulse, it'll just go off automatically. So I think you just got to keep moving about to avoid him, to avoid being spotted. But it's sort of like, it's another thing of frantic gameplay. And why Winter is a cruel and evil person. So, let's keep going. I want to get more further into this because there's actually, at the moment it feels just like a little more frantic Gridrunner, but once you get a few more levels in, it starts throwing some crazy stuff at you. And it's actually why I tend to prefer this a lot more than Gridrunner. And honestly, it's kind of my favourite of Jeff's games in the series. Void Runner just gets a little too distracting, a little too psychedelic, but this tends to... Alright, there's another one that's gone topsy-turvy. Okay. Yeah, okay. Zone 4. Ooh, mystery guys. I don't know what the heck those mystery bonuses are or how you get them, but hey. Alright, so now we're battling the cosmic cameloids. And at this point they'll start coming down into mix with the waves, but on this wave, it's basically a time trial, because you can have a gander. My score is going down. So I've got to try and kill them all before they take too many of my points. Which I like how this mixes it up. It's sort of an inverse bonus stage. Yeah, oh, either way, you it's a penalty stage. Because if you don't zap them fast enough, you're going to lose more points. I actually really like it, and I really appreciate it from a design sense. Yeah, it makes me wonder what you could do to add that to another game. Anyway, Zone 5. Yes! These are those things I'm talking about. The deflectors. So you see those 4 bars in the middle of the screen. Shooting those will deflect your laser blast around, but if you're not careful, you can rebound it into yourself, and that can be fatal. Again, you've just taken, you've had a few introductory levels to sort of introduce how the game plays, and now you're just going to make it all hectic. And I really love it for that reason, and I think I've just got a game over. Alright. I don't think I'm going to do better. I really love Matrix a lot more than Gridrunner. It uses the 64's screen real estate a lot better. Gridrunner feels very sparse, and that's just because it was a very simple blow-up. Obviously, both games are way more frantic on the VIC-20 just because of the lower screen resolution. I would love to actually play them on a VIC. I've only played them emulated, it's just not the same. So Matrix is probably my favourite of the series. Void Runner, I did that quite a while ago, is great, but it's just a little too psychedelic to be fun. This just nails it. Nails that feel perfectly. I know, yeah, so I really dig it. So I think I'm going to call it a wrap. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you played the VIC version, you can torment me with some comments, tell you how much better it is. I know I'm also going to port it to the Commodore 16. There's a twin pack with Laser Zone, I think. I'm going to try and get that, because more Jeff games on more machines are always awesome. And I believe it made it over to the Atari computers as well. I have to check. So if you've played any of those versions in depth, I'd love to hear how they play in comparison. As always, thumbs up always helps spread the love and help these appear better in search results. Thanks to all of my subscribers as always, and if you do want to check out more videos as they come through, do hit the subscribe button. And thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you next time.